Let's have a beautiful experience. In this video, we're going to talk about penis pumps. Are they worth it? Do they make your penis bigger? It's a beautiful thing. You gotta love it. Alright, before we get started here, please do me a huge favor. Please, ring the bell. Of course, follow me on my social media, subscribe to the channel, tell some friends. I go by Jesus_Detroit on my Instagram, Snapchat of Young Dago. And that's right, in this video, we're going to be talking about penis pumps. Now, I know you might have seen some, maybe in some movies like Magic Mike, Austin Powers. Maybe you never seen one, maybe you've seen the one in the shower. And have I used one? Absolutely. Do I agree with them? Yeah, teach their own, and I'm going to tell you my reasoning why. But before that, if you guys are interested in learning how to become your best version, I got the BCC, the Big Cock Collective, where I teach people how to make their penises bigger, thicker, wider, longer, stronger, and harder. And, naturally raise your testosterone, human growth hormone, and that's what we're all about. So if you want some online coaching, some Skype sessions, I'm a spiritual mentor and a guide, and I can help you become your best. So with that, we're talking, penis pumps here, and I actually got one, so you can take a look at it. And I like it huge, you know what I mean? A nice big tube that you want to stick that piece of meat in, because I want to be bigger than this whole tube, and thicker than that. Now, when you use a penis pump, of course I don't have the hose on it, man. Like I've worn this thing out, as you can see, even though this one's more on the Gimmick side of penis pumps, because they have like, a variety of kinds that you can buy, even at the sex shop. And the ones that you're going to want to go with are ones that are more airtight on your piece and able to extend it as big as you can get, for the time being, because you can actually enhance tubes as you go and as you grow. Does it make it grow? It does to a certain degree, but the thing is, I don't really agree with the growth. I feel that that they're more harmful than they're beneficial. And reason for that is, if you guys ever been on like Pornhub or ever seen a guy use a penis pump, or somebody that's like an advocate pumper, what you're gonna find out is it loses rigidity in the penis. And to me, this is no good. It's like you want to have a huge piece of meat swinging in the knees, but you want that thing throbbing up. It's right in between the pecs when it's hard, you know what I mean? Nice and thick and gripped. And that's where I'm at with this, because the thing is, if you're somebody that's constantly pumping your piece and you abuse it, one of the main things that can happen is it loses rigidity. And to me, what good, size is, beautiful, but what good is it if it's just like a big thick tube of cookie dough? You know what I mean? That's just no good for nobody. Unless you want to bake some cookies, that's one thing. But you want that thing to be hard, standing up. You want people to stand on it. You want a piece that can, hold some weight. And, when you lose rigidity, that's just no good. Another problem that can occur with using a penis pump is the fact that your junk can get sucked, your balls can get sucked in there, and that whole, like your whole pelvic area, the base, around the base of your shaft, it's very sensitive. And if you're constantly like if you got a hard suction going, what can happen is you can actually suck, create like herniations and stuff, and that's just no good. You don't want that to happen, which again is why I recommend you use a better product than, don't just use a Gimmick penis pump. But at the same time, if you're going to want to feel what it's like to ride the lightning and stick your piece in a pump, you're going to have to do what you got to do. Now, they got, like Bathmate has one. I never used their product, that uses the water or whatever. To me, I always like the air, and a lot of pumps that you get come with like a guard, like the ball to squeeze. Like mine's already done. I don't think that they're that good. You know, you even got battery powered, battery powered apparatus, and where it's just like where it will do it automatically for you. I don't, I haven't used the battery powered one, and the ball squeeze thing. It's just not, in my opinion, strong enough for the suction that you're gonna want to achieve, because like when you're pumping that thing, when you're pumping your piece, you want to like. The goal is to fill the whole tube, and if you keep it on there long enough, you're gonna see it boom, 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 grow as it goes. The only thing is, like once you take it off, it's like it loses the suction. Like it only looks good while it's in the tube. I mean, not to say that it doesn't, like it definitely hangs heavier and it's more swollen afterwards. And there's actually some type of medical condition or medical terminology for like if you over pump your penis, and it will definitely, like, you can make it swollen and crooked, and like this is just no good. You don't want to do that. So I don't even recommend using a penis pump. Like you really gotta you gotta really be focused on what you're doing and make sure that you're making the wise choices of not only investing into a proper pump, but to knowing your limits. Because with great powers comes great responsibilities. And when you're, like when you're pumping up your piece, size is the prize. It's the main goal. And when you have that thing completely loaded with your piece, and you're just gonna want to keep going that extra. If you have that ball pump that I'm talking about, it's just not as good as that, the trigger one, like kind of looks like a gun. And that's the one you want to go after. I actually watched a porno, on Pornhub, like for a penis pump, and this was like a porno from the 70s, and like this guy was like the penis pump master. I don't know his name off the top of my head. He was like I said, he was a porn star, and he could do autofilacio, which means he could suck his own piece. And he didn't even have to bend down. Like my goal is to have it right here so I can, just like that, no bending whatsoever. Because, in order to be able to suck your piece, be able to do all that, it's flexibility. It has nothing to, obviously size comes into play, but like when it's up here, but if you can't bend your spine forward, that's really what we're getting at. I mean, you got to think that females can eat their own, eat their own salad or their own whatever, whatever you want to call it down there. I mean, it's all the flexibility, so it's not so much the piece, man. So just remember that, like, it has nothing to do with, with the growth to make that happen. Unless you're going for, my visualization of having it right here, and you can just go, bam, that's something completely different. That's the visualization of where I'm heading. That's the BCC, Big Cock Collect. We're all about growth, you know what I mean? But to each their own on how far you want to go. I mean, this is more or less about getting people comfortable in their own skin. And, I'm listening to the Joe Rogan podcast the other day, and, something really struck home with me, like when he's talking about how some of you guys out there, like you guys get made fun of for having a small piece. And there's nobody to stand up for you, and like nobody's going to be throwing you a parade and defending you and this and that. But I want to tell you this: you're beautiful. I'm on your side. I'm here to make you grow, and I'm going to give you everything you need to know, and you're going to be able to do it. So forget about anybody that's ever hated on your piece. I always go with the triple D's. And no, we're not talking about diners, dives, and drives, Guy Fieri. We're talking about don't doubt your dick. We're talking about always have faith in what you got. Believe in who you are. Know what you have is beautiful. And, don't talk negative about your piece. Don't even talk negative about anybody else's piece, man. That's just going to be no good for your own karma and the way that you go through life, man. It just, something that I find in me is if I talk about, like, if you have like just somebody just come in your vision and you have like a natural inclination to think something negative, you just stop that right away. Just put the brakes on it and just, just say this, like, I intend on that guy, that person, whoever comes into your field, to have a beautiful day. And watch how much better you're going to feel about yourself. Just the whole room, the whole mood, everything's going to change. And it's something that I've been believing in. I also do Ho'oponopono, which is a Hawaiian, practice where you clear up your karma. And this actually healed a lot of people. I got a great video on it. I use it for penis growth as well, because if you want to have, if you want beauty to appear, you got to keep this clear. So you got to keep your channel, this is your crown chakra, your third eye. You got to have everything clear in there, because you want that heart to just be pumping the love all the way down to your root, which is where your penis is at. And if you have all this just like a clear, just a clear path for just, love and growth, the best is going to happen with that. So keep your path clear, keep your chakras clear, keep your karma clear. Ho'oponopono, definitely something you should utilize, the 4 phrases. I am sorry, you take ownership, please forgive me, asking for forgiveness. Thank you, because gratitude's the attitude. And I love you, because you always got to go with love. And you say that over and over, it'll definitely clear up your karma. You can go back into your past, do some shadow work on a moment where you might not have been feeling your best, and it's something that can definitely help you out with that, because this is more than it's not just about the physical act of pumping your piece up or making it bigger through exercise, because if you want to manifest the best, like I said, you got to take care of the rest, man. Keep this clear. Keep your karma, keep everything beautiful, and trust me, beauty appears, man. This is the way it works. So, like I said, if you got somebody that just comes into your field of vision, don't even give it a chance to think anything negative. Just say something positive right off the bat. Just wish nothing but the best things for everybody, because somebody's got to do it. You know what I mean? There's enough haters out there that the more love we put out in the air, the more beautiful things are going to happen. So you keep yourself clear. You help out people whenever you can. And something as simple as, just intending on a person to have a beautiful day. Unbeknownst to that person, you are doing something beautiful. And that's what I go with, man. I really feel like love when I do something like that. It's like, like I'll be at the gym and somebody come in my field of vision, and I'm just going to intend on them to have a beautiful day, and I'm just feeling like I'm helping out in some way. And, I want to just feel that I'm giving, a positive flow for that person, because the more positivity out there, the more flow, the more you grow, and now that's the more you know. So, be as it may, we're talking about pumps here, and I'm talking about keeping that clear. But regardless, my opinion on the pump, I would really stay away from it. Like I said, watch the video on Pornhub if you want to really be blown away about this guy that's like the penis pump like expert, man. Like, he had like custom designed tubes, man. He had the ones that are really thick, ones that are not so much, ones that are really long, and then he had ones that were like wide. So he would make his penis wider, he'd make his penis longer. But then when you seen it was time to go to Pound Town, it was just, it was a stick of cookie dough. And that's not what my goal is here, man. It's about having a huge piece of meat that's, hanging at the knees, but throbbing into the pecs when it's time to go to Pound Town. You want to be able to set a whole family on there. You know what I mean? You want to have a piece that can hold everything with, you want to have it, you basically want it to be strong, is all I'm saying, man. And, when you're dealing with the pump, you're really messing with that area on your the base of your shaft. And you want to be able to keep that area, healthy, strong, and out of the suction of a vacuum, because, your balls can get sucked up in that tube. You can pull hernias through that tube, and, like I said, you got other means, and, the main reason this thing was, like, invented is for erectile dysfunction, like, because you pump it up, and then you put the cock ring on it, and it would hold the blood in there. I say skip the pump altogether and just go straight to a cock ring. And I recommend, you get a good one. I like to make sure you get it, nice thick rubber. And you know, depending on your size or whatever, you got to make sure you have it so it can actually clamp the base of your shaft. And you know, some guys, they put it around their ball sack as well. I don't agree with that. That's more on the gimmick and bulge side of it, where you're going for aesthetics. Like if you want to just fill out like a bikini, underwear. A lot of strippers do this, and you know, like you might know a few things. You know what I mean? You learn along the way, and that's just more for the bulge community, you know what I mean? If we're going for the grow community, you want to keep it on the base of the shaft. And I believe in super edging, hands down, over any type of pump that's around, because you are your own pump. You do not need this stuff. All this stuff is just nothing more than you know, getting in your way, and that's not what you need, you know, to just be the best version you can be. I recommend the you know, getting yourself a clamp though of some sort. You know, definitely go to the sex shop, get on Amazon if you're afraid to, you know, stake a foot in there. I mean, you never be, you know, going to the sex shop's a beautiful thing. It's a, you know, it's a beautiful experience, and I think, you know, you might enjoy that. But if that's not your thing, you know, I'm sure there's good ones to order on Amazon. This is the information era, and you'll find the right ones to get at you. And like I said, use super edging instead of a pump, because all you can do is you know, put it down onto the, you know, you put it down on the base of the shaft. And you know, I go you know, like I'll hold it on there for at least a couple hours, and that's just the power in me. You know, I've actually held it on for probably anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. Do not recommend that. Learn through my experience, that's just no good for nobody. And like, it's just like, after that, it's just like a big swollen, it's like a swollen piece of meat after that. It's definitely going to hang, you know, extra thick and heavy, but you don't need 4 hours to do it. You can get a good, you know, super edge clamp session within about, you know, a half hour, 45 to an hour is usually, you know, that's the sweet spot. 2 hours you don't want to go over, and because that's like what you got to build up to, man. After 2 hours, it's just like, you know, unnecessary, and I don't think you need it. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about with edging, edging is when you know, you get yourself throbbing hard, all right? You get yourself as hard as you possibly can, where that thing just can no longer, you know, we're just talking maximum blood flow, and then you put that clamp on there, and we go even harder, all right? So that's how we're doing the super edging, right? And with that, what you're going to do is you're going to pull on the top of the head of your piece, and that's going to, you know, promote growth, because you're pulling on it, much like, you know, a penis pump would be naturally pulling yourself anyways. But I don't, like I said, the penis pump is just, you know, you're going with a device instead of your own device, your own mind, which can definitely, you know, be the wielder of growth. Paramahansa Yogananda said that, you know, the mind is the wielder of muscle, and, you know, magic and all that stuff. It's definitely something to consider, because I believe that you have the power within, and I believe in the divine, and I know that we are all, you know, derivatives of the divine, because we all come from the sky, man. We are all from something, man. Whatever's in me is in you. It's in everything in between, and I'm just here to help you make your best version, make you be the best you. And with when I'm talking about, you know, using a penis pump, you don't need it. We're just going with the super edge and throb that thing as hard as you can. You know, pull it up, you know, for extra growth. Keep it on there for about a half hour to, you know, a couple hours if you can, you know, ride the lightning and go with that. And I guarantee after that whole session, now mind you, the most important part of edging is to not ejaculate. And there's going to be times that you can ejaculate. You know, you can look up Mantak Chi. You know, he's one of my, he's a guy I preach a lot on this website and my channel, because he's a sex expert. He's a Taoist. He believes in the Wu Wei, and he's got a whole bunch of valid information and a practice that he's been doing for years. And when he's talking about semen retention for charging your chi, that's something that I use daily, and it's definitely helped me become better. It's helped me raise my testosterone, and it's helped me, you know, grow a bigger penis. Now, you don't have to follow his chart, you know, because so he's going to tell you that in your 20s you're going to want to wait every 4 days. And by the time you get to 60, it's like once a month. I don't agree with his chart. He's from Asia. They do things twice as hard. You chop it in half. If you're in your 20s, you wait every 2 days. I don't think that every load is created equal. You know, how can you accurately measure, you know, this load to that load? And I feel like, you know, he's talking about people that are more in tune with their body, which is something that you should, you know, that should definitely be a goal of yours, you know, but you're going to definitely know where you're at with where your load is, you know what I mean? So you ain't, like, you'll know if you blew that, you know, that earthquake and body shaking, yeah, just explosion where you feel like you're going to blast it through the ceiling, and you know what I mean? Like, that's the, what we're talking about, where it's just like, you know, pumping and just like flowing of just, you know, flooding rivers and cum. Like, that's a whole different, you know, method is what I'm getting at, and you don't need that for, you know, for charging your chi. You just want to, you know, you just want to be, wait every couple days. You know, it's good practice. And when you're super edging, you know, wait that, you know, you get into that 20 minutes to the 2-hour mark. You know, you back off of it once you have that thing just throbbing as big as hard as you can, where you can't go anymore. It's just like, you know, you're one grip away from making that thing explode. You got to back off of it, back up off of it, you know, and then your cock ain't going to go down. We're going to talk about, you know, that's when you're going to have to really, you know, slide that cock ring off. And in that motion, you're going to be, you know, it's going to be very, you could be at a motion where it's easy for it to explode. So what I recommend is just wait, and just, you know, make sure you got plenty of coconut oil on that. That's what I believe in, or whatever lubricant you choose. I like, you know, coconut oil. I feel like it's, you know, non-GMO or whatever, and it's really beautiful for the body. It's natural, and it's just something that I like, you know. Recommend it. So you get, after you're, you know, you're done doing the super edging, you slide that ring off, and that piece is going to be definitely hanging extra heavy, and you didn't have to use a penis pump to achieve it. You didn't need you don't even need to use one to do it. If you want to go invest in one, I recommend making sure you buy the better one. Make sure you buy one that's not too big, and, you know, as far as like the thickness of it, you want to make sure that it's proper, it has proper girth adjustment for you, because if that hole's like this, you know, like I said, I want my piece to, you know, I intend on my piece being like a 2 liter, you know what I mean? But if you're not there yet, you know, you're gonna want to make sure that you have a piece that is gonna be more snug on what you got, because otherwise we don't want to ruin that pelvic floor. And we don't want to, you know, end up sucking your balls in there. That's just no good for nobody. So with that, you know, I intend on you guys to make informative choices. Intend on you guys to feel beautiful. Have a beautiful experience. Have a beautiful day. Just smile any way that you can. Just be entertained. Because the more that we smile, the more closer we are to source. Like I said, man, these are divine powers or magic. Smile is magic. Makes you feel beautiful, and, you know, there's gonna be plenty more beautiful experiences along the way. Like I said, I'm a spiritual guide, a spiritual mentor. I got the BCC, the Big Cock Collective, to help, you know, you become your best version, help that penis grow bigger, wider, thicker, longer, stronger, and harder. That's what I'm all about. So make sure you guys get in my, you know, get in my DMs or whatever. Leave any comments down below about if you ever used the penis pump and have ever experienced any of these issues. If you, you know, got some growth out of it, go ahead and leave that down. I think that's beautiful for anybody to know. Any entertainment, anything that you need help on, because this video was actually inspired from a fan of mine that, you know, was just talking about penis pumps, and I felt the inclination to, you know, give my, you know, my validation on why I choose not to use them all the time. So with that, you guys have a beautiful experience. I'll be around. Ring the bell. Follow me on the social media. I love you guys. Peace.